welcome to the Valley. Today I am your host, Janet Michael. It is Tourism Tuesday, Shenandoah County edition. Kary, Haun sitting to my right. We're sitting at Presley Real Estate, home of Team Abby Walters. But we're not even talking real estate today. We're going to be talking Mayfest.
Yes.
But before we do that, I have to know how your trip on the river was this morning, because we're recording a couple of weeks before people are here.
Yes.
We had a freeze watch.
We did have a freeze watch. I brought all the plants back in. And yes, we did have a freeze watch, and I had to gather lots of layers of clothing. But sort of last minute, one of my coworkers asked me to go along on a river ride with a travel writer. So this morning, I jumped in a kayak at 10 o'clock in the morning, and it was really beautiful. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about it later.
Yeah. Did you have a puffy coat on? Please say you were wearing a puffy coat.
A puffy coat and a PFD, so layers of puff.
And luckily for you, Abby, you're not really going to have to worry about cold, because Mayfest happens May 8th, May 9th, and by then usually we're warm.
Yeah, we're just always praying for no rain.
No rain.
But yeah, sunshine helps.
Well, I appreciate that you're taking the time this morning to give Kary and I some details. For somebody who isn't familiar with Mayfest, you've got a really long history with this event.
We do. It's very easy for me to remember because the event started in 1981, the year I was born. So it will be 45 years this year.
Fantastic.
And I think I've seen some old footage that used to be called like May Day, and they used to have a maypole, and I think it's been going on
for a
maybe
while.
Even before officially Mayfest.
That is crazy. Yeah. And then it has had some changes in recent years. It was a chamber event, right? And it's not that anymore. You're your own nonprofit, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, a couple years ago, we decided just to, me and the committee, form our own Strasburg Mayfest Incorporated nonprofit. And it's the same group of folks that have been doing it now for 5 or 6 years. And we've got the hang of it. And it's been getting bigger and better every year. And everyone works together really well.
We were joking before we started recording. I was talking about Apple Blossom being the first weekend in May, and this is Strasburg's Apple Blossom of sorts, right?
Yeah, I like to think so.
What kinds of things happen during Mayfest?
So we start off with the Carnival. That kicks off on Wednesday, and that's a big event. A lot of people come to town to do the Carnival in the evening with their kids. This year, we're adding fun activities at Box Office Brewery, like trivia nights, paint nights, little fun things like that to kick it off. Then our main event to kick it off is the Heels Hops Luncheon at Box Office on Friday, May 8th.
And women get dressed up for that. It's a lot of fun. I've seen the photos on social media every year, and it looks like there more and more people come to that.
They do. I think we sold 175 tickets last year. The women decorate their heels, and the men wear bow ties, and then we have a competition and crown the winners, and it's a lot of fun.
And they get to see each other. Sometimes this is the only time of year they get to literally just kick back and hang out for a while.
Yeah. And we have lots of musical entertainment, like Friday evening on the square, we have Cashmere, and then Saturday evening, Robbie Lyman bands, and all of that is free for anyone to pop in and listen.
Do you have vendors and things that people can shop and do those kinds of things?
So we have crafters and vendors on Saturday, May 9th. That's our main event, and they will be set up from 10 until 5 on the square, and just all kinds of arts and crafts things for sale, food for sale, just everything is there. Very unique stuff.
It's a really great event to just come down in the morning, and you could literally spend the whole day and not do the same thing twice.
Yes, absolutely. And there's a kids zone on Holiday Street, and we keep that free. Like, we pay for the bounce houses, the trampoline, the 3 face painters, and all that stuff really adds up when you're going to other festivals and paying for that individually.
Is there still a parade?
Yes. We keep bumping that up earlier every year, and I think that helps to keep the thunderstorms at bay.
That's true. Yeah, later in the day it gets a little sketchy sometimes.
Yeah, and we keep getting more and more entries for that, so it keeps getting bigger and better every year. And after the parade, immediately following is a duck race, which draws in a big crowd.
Oh, I didn't know you did a duck race.
Yeah, we have 400 plastic ducks now, and you can pay for the ducks, and you each have your own, and we race them in the little town run, town stream. It's a lot of fun.
And it's quite a sight to see, I would imagine.
It is, yeah.
And then what do the winners get?
They have monetary prizes. And we've gotten a lot of merch this year. So now we have like fun stuff like pins and stickers and fly sweaters and sunglasses and Mayfest merch. So we have goodie bags. Because we also have a 5K, so we need to give winners of the 5K and stuff as well.
Now do you do that on Saturday morning?
We do. Everybody meets at the Ram at the high school, and they do a little 5K course, and there's also a kids fun run.
See, that makes it nice too. Get up and get your blood moving and enjoy the morning, and then come down and eat all the funnel cakes and all of the fun food truck items.
There's definitely stuff to do Friday and Saturday, and now we're stretching it into earlier in the week, so we just keep growing and growing.
Give me a kind of like a timeline.
The carnival starts on Wednesday, May 6th.
And it's open every evening?
It is 6 to 10 Wednesday and Thursday, 5 to 10 Friday, and noon until 10 on Saturday.
Where does it set up?
Right behind the box office brewery.
Oh, in the parking lot back there. Okay.
Yep.
What happens throughout the rest of the weekend?
Friday night after Heels and Hops, we actually have eating contests, cupcake eating and hot dog eating, and that's a lot of fun. And we have a DJ there playing music during that time, so that's all in between the Heels and Hops luncheon and the entertainment that night. Then we have on Saturday, after the 5K race, you can go to a pancake breakfast hosted by Kiwanis. You can go to a Mayfest pottery auction sale at the Strasburg Museum. You can see our crafter vendors, hit the kids zone. We have a petting zoo this year with music during the day, parade, duck race, and more entertainment at night.
And so how long have you been involved? Obviously not since you were 1 or 2 years old, but you've been involved in this for a while.
I've been on this committee since 2021.
Wow.
As have the majority of our folks that are volunteering.
And what was the benefit of creating a nonprofit organization to organize this?
I think it really helps with our sponsors. So a lot of our sponsors are local businesses, so it really helps them to have a tax write-off. And we do depend on those sponsors because we're just an organization like volunteering our time to put this event together for free. And so in order to have all these bands and kids stuff, even things like dumpsters and all of that adds up.
Johnny Blues,
yes.
all of the
yes.
things.
So we really wouldn't be able to do it without those sponsors. So I think the tax exempt nonprofit status helps us with that.
I hear that a lot when I talk to event organizers up and down the Shenandoah Valley. Is so many times people love to come to those events and they enjoy them, but they have no idea what kind of thing has to happen behind the scenes from a logistics perspective, but also from a monetary. So when you say you're not charging for the kids to play on things in the kid zone, that doesn't mean you're getting those things for free for them to be able to. You've got to pay for them even though you're not passing that on.
No, and a lot of that's pricier than I would ever imagine. And we try to, like, the food vendors and stuff, sometimes I will get a little pushback about some food vendors are pricier than others, so we try real hard to look at the menus and look at the prices and have a variety for folks that are on a fixed budget, and we really try hard to do that.
I don't mind so much paying something extra, particularly from a lot of our food trucks in general, because, and I'll use Melted Dreams, who's down here on the corner as an example, you get so much food, first of all, from anything that you order from his menu, and it is amazing. He does a phenomenal job there. So I can't imagine somebody was, I can't believe I have to pay X number of dollars for this Philly cheesesteak. Oh my gosh, have you not seen? It's like 3 Philly cheesesteaks that he gets here.
He'll be out on the corner, and he'll have his ice cream truck down by the kids zone.
I forgot about the ice cream. That's a good idea.
Yeah. So we try to get more and more food trucks every year, so people have a variety to choose from, and try to get new kids things as well. So try to make it exciting. Listen to feedback from people who attended.
Do you have people that reach out to you at the end of the event and say, "Hey, we would really like to participate in this next year, and this is what we offer"?
Yeah, we do. We've got food trucks, crafter vendors, kids things, all reach out to us. And then we also picked up some new volunteers this year, people that wanted to join our Mayfest committee, so that was nice.
Let's take a break. When we come back, let's talk a little bit more about that, because that's the other thing that I don't think the general public often realizes that they can help with, is become a volunteer. So can we talk about that in the next segment?
Absolutely.
Okay, we're going to do all of that when we come back. We are sitting today having a conversation about Mayfest. It is happening on May 8th and 9th. Although the carnival opens on the 6th, then you can celebrate right straight through the weekend. Kary Haun is is here with me, of course, because it's Tourism Tuesday.
Yes.
Shenandoah County edition. Abby Walters is president of Strasburg Mayfest Inc. We're sitting at her real estate office at Presley Real Estate. We're going to come back and learn more details about Mayfest in just a couple of minutes.
Wherever there's a need in our communities, there's a united way, improving lives so everyone can thrive. Where more people can gain access to healthcare and nutritious food for their tables. Where more community members can benefit from financial education and get connected to local resources for housing support. And where children are given more chances to reach their full potential. Community is where we find our strength and where we share our hope. United is the way. Visit unitedway.org.
Welcome back to the Valley. Today I am your host, Janet Michael. It is Tourism Tuesday, Shenandoah County edition. Kary, Haun, and I are sitting at Presley Real Estate having a conversation with Abby Walters from Team Abby Walters Real Estate. She is president of Strasburg Mayfest. That's what we're talking about today. It happens May 8th, May 9th. And when we went to break, Abby, we were talking a little bit about the volunteers.
Yes.
And this is a huge event. There is no way that a small committee could pull this off without the community coming in and saying, hey, I'll help you with the parade and lineup and all of the things.
Yeah, so we have like our core group of 8 volunteers, but when it comes down to the day of events, we have a lot of people that join us that day and help us with everything from logistics to the parade, to bringing water bottles, to people working the bounce houses, setting up tents for the music. So anybody that loves to just be around that environment and the community and have fun, reach out to me because we're always looking for help for that.
And it's such a great community event that you probably have a lot of people, again, that only see each other when they meet up for their volunteer meeting that morning and find out where they're going to be stationed for the day.
Yeah, and I got real excited this year. We got some new volunteers for like our core committee. So one volunteer is like, I can help with making sponsor videos. So she's been interviewing our main sponsors and putting together some videos so we can shout them out on our social media and website. So it's been really helpful.
And that's always a benefit because when it is a small committee, you can only do so much. And if somebody has a skill that they're really good at, then offering it up to your committee to make the event better is always a good idea.
Right. People might not realize, like if they go on Strasburg Mayfest Facebook page, it's usually me or Wendy doing all of those posts on it. Thank goodness for the help of ChatGPT for our captions. But yeah.
And Kary, this is cool for you from a tourism perspective because this is a big draw. People will travel to the area and plan vacations around when Mayfest is happening.
This is true. I mean, there's nothing like a small town event, a small town parade. We're just so rich in this community with our small towns, right? Like we are a county that has 6 small towns and not a sort of a big city center. So between Strasburg Mayfest and the Edinburgh Old Time Festival and now the Tater Fest down in Mount Jackson, we just have some of the best community,
the quirkiest
and of course, well, you said it.
I said it.
But they're so much fun, and you really do get that small town feel when you are in these small community events, and to see the parades come down the street and the musicians and duck races, it's all just really sweet and family friendly and wholesome and a really great spring event.
When we're talking about the parade too, Abby, that is such a great way for businesses to get the word out. But these small town parades, you can turn most anything into a float. You can walk, you can ride a horse.
People in
go-karts.
Yeah, we've got just about everything in there.
And that's what makes it special.
Yeah, it's nice. And Mayfest isn't like the Christmas parade where a lot of people will dress up and things for that, but Mayfest still has their own special flavor and it's cool seeing everything.
What time does the parade start this year?
2:00.
And it's usually, what, an hour and a half? Because
About
you
an
have to
hour.
close that stretch of Route 11 for a period of time, right?
Yeah, we do. So it's about an hour, and then we immediately go to the town run for the duck race afterwards.
And that's good. It clears everybody out of the way so traffic can get back through again.
Yeah.
And that's something else that I don't think people from the outside looking in have to understand, that you got to coordinate that with VDOT. You got to get permission. There are all of these moving parts.
Yes, you're good to know all that. Before I got on this committee, I did not know we had to do all these permits, event applications, so I know now.
What's your favorite thing about Mayfest? What is the one thing every year when it rolls around you're most excited about?
It's always going to be the food trucks and funnel cakes and fried Oreos. You only get that stuff when you go to a fair or a carnival or a festival, so I look forward to it.
I like that you do it in May, so I don't have to wait until the heat of summer to be able to get some of that. So it's your little holdover for your funnel cake until the fair opens.
I feel like with it being in May and being spring, it's like the windows open and people come out from their hibernation. At least that would be me, like coming out of hibernation in the winter. At least just a breath of fresh air, and it's like a kickoff to the start of this beautiful weather that we get to experience here.
So where can people go if they want to learn more details, they want to follow you on social media? Give me your website and your social media handles.
We've got StrasburgMayfest.com website and Strasburg Mayfest VA Facebook page, and we really try to keep those very updated. You've got to check out our Mayfest King and Queen. This is the second year that we've done this. And this is a king and queen from the older generation that we choose and we nominate. And last year we had Faye Sonner and John Taylor. And this year we have Roger McDonald and Tilly Campbell. And they're adorable. And we have their picture and their bios, and everyone is loving this tradition. We're hoping we can get them to like ride in the parade, come to the Heels and Hops luncheon.
Be the local celebrities that they are.
Yes, it's so fun. It's so adorable. Everybody loves this idea, so we're going to keep doing this every year.
I kind of like that. I am a huge fan of those kinds of things because those are the people that normally don't get a lot of they don't want the recognition, but they don't get it anyway. And people need to know these are pillars of the community that have been around and have done things that maybe you don't even know they've done for the town. So I love that you're able to highlight them as king and queen for a day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Amazing.
That is cool. I'm going to have to move to Strasburg and get a crown.
Definitely come join us in our festivities.
For sure.
So, Kary, Haun, I want to know more about this river experience this morning because I am still trying to wrap my head around 50 degrees and you in a canoe on the river.
If you're in a kayak, it's really not that big a deal. And then I did wear my puffy jacket and I did wear a PFD, so like I had multiple layers on. So I was really quite warm because the sun was shining. There wasn't a cloud in the sky this morning. So it was really very comfortable on the water. In the springtime, the river is up because we've had so much great rain and snow melt, and the trees are just now starting to, their little green leafies are out. They're so cute.
So much better than the blank tree leaf, the branches and no leaves.
But the neat part about it is that without the leaves, you do get to see a little bit more wildlife. So while we were talking this morning, I wrote down all of the different things that I saw just in the hour and a half, 2 hours that I was on the river. Okay, because normally I will go and do a little walk at the state park, and I've been enjoying the bluebells. They're just popping right now. The red buds are beautiful,
the red buds have
and
gone
then, of
crazy.
Course, yeah. But I got on the river, and one of the first things we saw was a deer walking through the woods and following us, right, as we were kind of cruising down the river. So we were waving to our little deer friend over there. Lots of squirrels running through the bluebells, which was so cute. And then Canada geese overhead, squawking really loud. We saw lots of ducks in the water.
Really?
Yes. And then we saw an eagle's nest. There's a point around when you get closer to Lepton Road, you can see there's a big sycamore tree and a huge eagle's nest. And we looked on the other side of the river, and there was the eagle on the other tree on the other side of the river. What an incredible sight that was. And if there were so many leaves on the trees, I wouldn't have seen that eagle.
That's true.
Yes. After that, we saw pileated woodpeckers. They were having a party. I just happened to look over and see a big stump coming out of the river, and there were some turtles that were sunning themselves.
Get out!
Morning sun. It was incredible.
It's like you scripted all of this for the travel writer.
I swear.
She's probably thinking, wow, these Shenandoah County tourism people, they got their act together because I saw all of these things.
Exactly. So if you get a chance, you can drop in at the Hollingsworth Road exit if you have your own kayaks, or canoes or tubes or whatever you float in. And it's a really great, I think it's about a 3-mile stretch. It could take about 2 hours if the river is running sort of low and lazy. There are some just tiny little rapids. And the state park also does a guided paddle. And just look on our website, visit shenandoahcounty.com, look at our events. The next one coming up is May 2nd, but that looks to be sold out. But they are doing them throughout the summer. Of course, it's going to be weather permitting.
Right.
They actually have kayaks at Seven Bend State Park, which they keep parked at the Hollingsworth side, and you can rent them for a day.
And then take them to the Lupton.
And then take them to the Lupton side. But of course, that's going to take some logistics. You want to make sure you have a car over on the Lupton side. You want to make sure you have the keys to that car over on the Lupton side.
Oh, gee,
right?
that sounds like somebody has had that happen to them before.
But it's really neat because you go to their website, and of course you can get to them through our website, but you can actually just Google Seven Bend State Park. It'll take you straight to their website, and just look at the reservations page, and you can sign up to reserve a kayak, and you take that kayak down the river, and then you just leave it on the other side. And it works out really nicely.
That sounds like a really good Sunday after Mayfest. Unwind, go down the river.
Yes, absolutely.
Truly. And I'll tell you, I don't do it very often, but every single time I do that river run, I'm always like, why am I not doing this?
Why don't I do this?
Why am I not doing this every single morning of every day of every year?
I still can't believe you did it in the cold. Kudos to you for braving through it.
I'm here to tell you, I've done colder.
What?
runs on that river. Yes, I did one of these river floats through Parks and Rec on a late November morning.
Yeah,
So-
no thank you. It's got to be the perfect, like no humidity, and I don't want it to be too hot, and it certainly can't be too cold.
You're moving, so you're comfortable, you're warm. I'll tell you what, my morning hikes at Seven Bend State Park all winter have been way worse than any of my river
Oh, that's true. And that park is just such a gem. That's another piece of Shenandoah County that I am so glad that you have now.
Yes, and if you're going over to the Lupton side just for a river walk, I mean, do this and see the bluebells and see the wildflowers and all the pollinator gardens and stuff like that. You can park just after you cross over the bridge and take that hike right along the river. It's amazing.
And you can go to Muse, which we did one year. We did a show at Muse, and it's right there.
Yes.
At the
Hollingsworth
park, at the
side.
Hollingsworth
Yep.
side.
Yep.
So you can do all of the things.
Right. For those who don't know, there are two different entrances to the park. You can hike from one to another, but you got to go up a steep mountain to get to the other side.
No.
If you're going to the Hollingsworth side, you're going past Muse Vineyard, and there's some hiking trails there, and there's some interpretive postings to look at, as well a children's play area, which is really cool. The play area is actually, there's a third scale replica of the Woodstock Tower, and a little trail that sort of takes you along what would be a path of seven bends. It's like a little mini Shenandoah County.
That is
which
cool.
Really sweet.
And it's so crazy to me that park is so new.
Yes.
Really, because
It really only opened in 2020.
And one of the things you were talking about before we started was a heritage festival, and back in the day that park didn't even exist. It was just woods.
It was woods. It was actually a campground for Massanutten Military Academy.
Really? I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
I have a house coming up for sale in that Hollingsworth side.
Oh.
This spring.
See, that's the other kind of perk to what you do, Abby, is that you also have the inside scoop on if somebody wants to live on the parade route, or somebody wants to live in an area that's walkable downtown. I mean, Strasburg has one of the most walkable downtowns that we have across the Shenandoah Valley. But having river access is a big deal too. So you check a lot of boxes for
I have a
people.
couple riverfront properties coming up this summer. Yeah.
Exciting.
So where can people go, Kary, to learn about all of the things, the wineries and the breweries and the music and all of the stuff?
Well, and now that it's spring, there's so much going on. There's lots of live music outdoors.
Farmers markets.
And farmers markets and things going on at the breweries. Visit ShenandoahCounty.com and you go to our events tab, and you can look up events that are just going all the way through the summer. And
tell me one more time, Abby, where can they learn more about Strasburg Mayfest?
StrasburgMayfest.com or Strasburg Mayfest VA on Facebook and Instagram.
Thank you for hosting Kary and I for a little bit this morning. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for coming.
Kary, I will see you next month, Natural Art Garden Center, I believe.
I've already stopped in there once and
We're
talked to the
so
owner.
together. 2026 is really turning out to be our year.
I think so. It's a sign.
It's a sign. I will be back tomorrow with a brand new episode of The Valley Today, just a few minutes after noon, so meet me here then.